Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hi, Ani. Workbook avail. Link in bio. What's up? What's up? What's up? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Top of the morning to ya. Good morning. Good morning, friends. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the MISFIT Light. Good morning. Good morning. I had some tunes going here, just getting the energy right. You know what I mean? Just like setting the mood. All right. I know it's Monday morning of everything. And so lots of folks will jump in and on. So those of us love the music. Oh, I'm telling you what, this is like a 741 hertz frequency. Remove negative energy and cleanse your aura. Oh, do we love it or what? Good morning. My name is Rachel LaForce. I am here. I am alive. I am well. Good morning to you. It is super rainy and wet and cold and dark here this morning in Atlanta, Georgia. And we're just like moving through it. Are we not? Oh my gosh. Last week I came to you live. It was the day of my grandmother's funeral. And I was sharing everything that she's taught me about being the light, sharing the light. What does that mean? What does it mean to be healers in our own right? And not in the sense that everybody has to wear all white and, you know, like know their birth chart. You know what I mean? Like I'm here for it. But there's so much more that goes into, as I would define it, living in our highest expression. And there is no particular thing you need to do. There is no, I think in so many ways for folks that are on any sort of journey, we've overcomplicated it. We have made it this big to do. And then we allow the to-dos to get in our way. And then all of a sudden we're halfway through our journey and we're like, we haven't even freaking done anything yet because we've been all like, oh, I have to do it this way. Okay. So everything that we share in this space, in the MISFIT Light is more than just when we meet together in the mornings here on Monday mornings. The MISFIT Light is about you defining what it means for you to step into your light, to step into what I would define as your highest expression. We all have things that we want to express differently. We all have things that we want to get to in life. We want to get to it. And this is about one of those ways of helping you do that. The reason that I love the word misfit is I feel like so many of us, it's either like you're it or you're out. And there's all of this room in between. And in fact, most of us live in the in-between. And so we do ourselves this grand disservice. Oh, good morning, my friend. We do ourselves this grand disservice by thinking if we're not this and we're that, then it's done. When in reality, we live in the most unique and obtruse and infinite universe. And that's exactly what we are all made and created for. And this is about redefining what does it mean to be unique? What does it mean for you to have these gifts that you want to share and being able to step in them unapologetically and lead, period. That's it, right? So much room in between. Amen, amen. So that's what this space is about. This space is non-denominational. This space is not, there's no rhyme or reason of what you need to do. This is simply, if you feel it, and let's keep it moving, right? It's that simple, all right? So we're here every Monday morning doing this exact same thing, learning to step into our MISFIT light and lead from that. The MISFIT light, like I said, is more than just these Monday mornings. It is a way of life. It is an expression. It is a way to move through the world. So that's what we're here to do. So I have created a workbook for you. Every Monday, you are welcome to this workbook. This workbook is free. It will always be free. And so you can either, on a handful of my posts throughout the week when I post about, I pick a different misfit each week to represent. So again, so you can see even some of the most popular people, some of the most fringe people, not even that are just living now, but throughout history that I identify as a misfit. So we can begin to identify what does this mean and identifying our people and lighting each other up. That's the purpose of this. So this week's misfit is Matthew McConaughey, okay? Because anybody who gets arrested for playing the bongos while a little high, you know what I mean? Like MISFIT. So go and check that out on Maine. He has this like beautiful acceptance speech that he talks about, and oddly, it's like this beautiful like journal prompt. So go and check that out. But on those posts, those will come out on Sunday. You can always type MISFIT Light, and the workbook will be sent directly to you. Okay. You can also access it. Link in bio. It's there, so you can go there every week. The turnover will not be until Sunday. But on Sundays, you can go there. So that way you can take a look, you can read through, you can see, thank you for making a free and accessible source. Of course. Because this is the main work that I want y'all doing in your spare time all of the time, right? There's plenty of other things. You can come to me and energy exchange. You can pay me for my time, right? That's a different thing. But walking this path, doing this work, needs to be free and accessible for everyone. And so we're going to even work on more ways for people to access it. But yes. So please tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your enemies. Okay. We need to light them the F up too. All right. So they can grab this free resource. And I like it. I'm a journaler. I like to take notes. So for all my note-taking people, this is perfect for you. You should be able to download it just straight as a PDF. So you can, I'm a big person. I'll print them out myself and I'll do the notes there. But you can do them like right in, Google Drive or wherever you access it. So I'm hoping that this will be something that you will take advantage of. Please take advantage of this. And it will be different every week. And there'll be different journal prompts and things like that for you to use. So again, please go and check that out. Hi, Joe. Go and check that out. This is something again from me to you so that you can continue on your journey, and be able to light yourself up and whatever that means for you. Okay. So this week we are talking about mirrors. So again, if you want to go grab that workbook now, it's not too late. Link in bio. You can go and grab that. It's the very top of my link tree. Okay. So this week we're talking about mirrors. And what does that mean? I'm not talking about a physical mirror that you look into, although we are all physical mirrors to each other about the way that we view the world. How do we walk through the world? What are the mirrors that we're choosing? We may not even be aware that our beliefs about the world, the way that we walk through the world, are based on the mirrors that we have chosen. We've decided that those people know what they're doing, or we've decided that this is the path. That's the most beautiful thing about today's lesson and every lesson in between, that you can choose at any time, at any day, at any point to decide to do something different. And that's exactly what you can do. So I tell people a lot when folks come to work with me, often both in a creative capacity or in a spiritual one. And often I hear, I'm lost. I don't know who I am. And one of the first things I say is, tell me about the 3 closest people to you, and I'll tell you exactly who you are. Right? Meaning, so much of what we believe about the world is based on those closest to us, right? Or those that we look up to, those within our field, the things that we are chasing, right? So that's what we're going to break down today. So this week on the MISFIT Light, we're talking about mirrors. I've said a little bit of this, but let me read it out loud. A lot of the way we feel about ourselves has been mirrored to us in some ways. Sometimes harmful and sometimes not. I'm trying to say, wave to everybody, good morning. You can't do everything at once, of course. Sometimes harmful, sometimes not. How do we see ourselves in others? What is being revealed to us from our surroundings? Who do we like spending time with? Do we like how we feel about ourselves when we are with those people that are closest to us? And who makes you feel lit up? And then if you go on to the next page, it's got this beautiful kind of breakdown. I'll see if I can show this to you if you can see. So this is what the workbook looks like. So it'll walk you through mirrors and so on and so forth. So the 3 parts of this are, who are your mirrors currently? Who is mirroring back life to you? Let's do all of them. Come on, hit me. Uh-oh! Give me some balloons! I love it. Okay. Mirrors. Who are your mirrors? What do you see? What makes you uncomfortable? The second part are the adjustments. How can we move towards integrating your mirrors or move towards new mirrors, things that we want reflected back to us within the world? And then the third part is dream mirrors. Where do you want to go? What mirrors are you seeking? So we're going to break this down. And if you're working on the workbook below, I've made space for, I don't know what's happening. I apologize. Wow, that's the week. Did you feel that? That's the week. That's last week that we're moving through. And then below are spots for your notes, your thoughts, and epiphanies, okay? And then below that, you can use this as we walk through or later as you see fit. Today, I am walking away with blank, and you can talk about what it is that you're walking away with, okay? So let's first talk about who are my mirrors. Who are the people that are the closest to you? And are you happy with those relationships, right? Are you happy with the way that those people make you feel? Do they make you feel alive? Do they make you feel seen, right? Or do they make you feel small? Do they make you feel inferior? And there's no wrong or right answer, by the way. You don't have to tell me, and you don't have to go, I listened to Rachel LaForce this morning and I don't want to be your friend anymore, right? Like there are no grand decisions and no sudden moves. We're just wanting to take note so that we can identify what do we want to move closer to and what do we want to move away from. And I always like to be clear, because setting boundaries with people, a lot of times we have very sticky relationships, right? With very, very folks close to us, moms, dads, people we're co-parenting with, maybe our children, right? And I always say there's always a solution. It doesn't have to be all or nothing, right? That there's always a solution and a way to navigate relationships, even if that navigation for a while is to take space, okay? So again, no set of moves today, but who are your mirrors? Who are the people closest to you? And so if you can think about 3 to 5 and write down those folks, 3 to 5, right? And deciding, how does that make you feel? Do you want to be more like those folks? What are they reflecting back to you? Are they reflecting back to you infinite possibilities that when you share with them something you're working on, they lean in, they're interested, they say, tell me more, right? Or do you tell them a big idea and they're like, yeah, that's not going to work. Or so you think somebody would be into that? Or, oh, don't you think you should be doing something more practical? Or God bless them and be on your way. Okay. We don't have to mirror back to everyone what it is that they're giving us. But the more we can begin to identify what is being mirrored to us, we can then decide what of it is that's yours. That's your side of the street. And I'm not here to change that. That's yours. It's that simple, right? So then we can begin to make that space between what is being mirrored towards us and what do we want to mirror? What do we want to put out in the world? What do we want people to think of us or feel when they hear us, when they see us, when they see our name, right? So thinking about who are your mirrors and how do they make you feel? And some of those mirrors may make you feel really good. And some of you may be like, oh, I don't like this part, Rachel, because it doesn't make me feel very good. And that's totally okay too, right? So the second part of this is adjustments. The adjustments. And I would also like to say the space between 1 and 2, this could be years, friends, okay? So if all of a sudden you're like, oh yeah, I don't really like my mirrors, I don't feel good about this, and you're wanting to make adjustments towards people, places, and spaces. Again, because this could be a workplace, y'all. This doesn't have to be, we don't have to take this so literally, right? When my husband and I, we were living in Los Angeles, and I'm looking around, I'm like, yeah, I don't like this. I don't like what's being mirrored to me, which is competition, doubt, scarcity, right? I'm like, Mama is not trying to participate in any of this, right? And when it is a place, it is a culture, it is buzzing. Guess what? There are a few, and I think you absolutely can choose to shine your mirror in places that feel, all encompassing. For me, I was just like, I'm 36 years old. I'm done. You know what I mean? I have mirrored everybody else's BS. I'm done. I'm moving to a place that mirrors what it is that I'm wanting to put out into the world, right? So it doesn't necessarily have to be, a person. This could be a person, place, or thing. So my My workbook went away. There we are. And so these adjustments, again, making that from when I decided what it was that I wanted to do and realizing where I was not the place that was the most conducive for me to live at my highest expression, I had to make that adjustment, right? Let's go with of moving. We didn't decide to move and then move. I mean, I knew in 2020, I was probably ready to move. I was not there yet. There was still too much fear. There was too much doubt. There were too many things that I had to put into place in order to be able to move through and make those adjustments. So I don't want you, a lot of you, because those of us that are doing the work, you probably already have your answers. If I talk to you long enough, you already know exactly what you want to do. You know where you want it to be. You know what it all looks like. That's the most beautiful thing. The more challenging aspect is allowing our nervous system, our neuro pathways, our bank accounts, right? Our support systems to be able to catch up to that place so that we can move together. So I just want to share that with you because I think all of us are in different places financially, what resources we have available to us, the work we need to do on our nervous systems, all of those things are vastly, vastly different, right? So the parts of which can move at different times are going to be different. And I think there's so many manifest generators out there and people with blind faith and you're going to make this amount of money and blah, blah, blah. Give your money who you want to, but can I tell you, I've been diligently doing this work every day for 6 years, and this is what you're looking at, okay? I know you're thinking beauty, grace, wealth, I get it. But I just want to share that because true change, foundational shifts take significant time, right? A mountain wasn't built in a day, right? A creek bed doesn't arrive in a day. It is erosion. It is time over time over time. And that's exactly what these shifts are. So I want to be very crystal effing clear about that. Because not that you shouldn't see that as challenging. You should see that as great. There are steps today that I can take that can begin to create that erosion, that can begin to create that movement of change and adjustment to get me closer to where I want to be. So that I can be lit up fully and living in my highest expression, right? So who are my mirrors? What are these adjustments? Maybe their workplace. Maybe you've got roommates and you're living with people and everybody's partying all the time and they don't seemingly have these high aspirations or they don't again, we don't have to be judging them to the nth degree, but it's let's observe. Where is that disconnect between where you want to go and where these people are currently residing? This is good. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful to hear it, right? Yeah. So what is that space? And then those adjustments are what's going to bring those two things closer together, right? That's what is that adjustment period. So then we're looking at the third part, which are dream mirrors. Where do you want to go and what are the mirrors that you're seeking? And friends, we can do this as simple as going through, I do this every so often and I go through everybody I'm following on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube. And I'm going, how do I feel when these folks pop up? How do I feel? And I don't need to judge it, but sometimes if I'm cringe or, all these different things that it makes us feel, it's take note of that. Or take note of the things that make you feel envious. Envy, not jealousy, they're different. Envy is the deepest part of you going, do you feel that? Yeah, we want to be doing what they're doing too. And that's what that feeling is. Because friends, sadly, we will pay so much more attention to the things that stress us out and don't make us feel good than things we could live in bliss for 48 hours and then for a minute not feel good. And guess what we're going to go? We're going to make a meal out of it. We're going to tell everybody about that minute that we didn't feel great, right? And I don't know. That's just humans. I don't know why we do that, okay? But that's something that I think is really important to take note of, that what are the things that make you feel envious, the things that make you go, because those may be a very beautiful indicator of exactly what it is that you want to do. Now, it may not be the vehicle, or I'm not saying that it's everything that they're doing, but it may be one part of that, Maybe it's honesty. Maybe they challenge the status quo. Maybe they, they left their corporate job and they're doing entrepreneurship, or they're in a healthy marriage. And, you say, oh, I don't want to get married. I don't want to get married. And then you see these people who you genuinely feel are happy. You can feel it because it's an energy like anything else. And it pisses you off. Maybe you do want to get married. Maybe you do want to find a partner, right? And whatever, you get to define that, by the way. You get to define partnerships, marriage, entrepreneurship, any of those things. How would you differentiate envy and jealousy? That's a great question. So I think that, let me see, and I'm actually going to look up a definition too. Ooh, there's one in the Bible too. Let's see. All right, this is, okay. So envy is when you want something, or as I would define it, there's something that somebody else is doing, and there's a part of that you want to embody. And jealousy is when you're worried that somebody else is going to take what you have. So although they both may feel low vibrational, to me, envy is more aspirational because it's asking more of you. Ooh, I'm wanting what they have. So when we can feed into that and we can give it a different name of aspiration, when we can look at it that way, that becomes abundant. That becomes I am infinite. When we have that jealousy, it's like, oh, why is she texting him? Or, oh, why did she get that thing? Or, oh, she just thinks she's so great. It's very low vibrational. That scarcity mindset. If they get that thing, then I can't. And we all know that that's not true. How many times do I have to say it? I think there were like billionaire celebrities who all created skincare lines in 1 year. Okay. And if another celebrity's like, oh my God, now I have a podcast. Nothing is oversaturated, my friends. If a market is oversaturated, that just means that they're still taking applications. Okay. You are capable of making and creating exactly what it is that you want in your life, period. Okay. Let me know if that makes sense. Again, I think that's a great question about what is the difference between jealousy and envy. Also, there's some really good Bible verses on it because I know that you're a Bible gal. So look that up in Exodus chapter 20. Exodus chapter 20. So any of my folks out there, that's what that says here. But it doesn't give me the whole passage, otherwise I would read it. So yeah, it even talks about it in the Bible. So tale as old as time. There is a true difference between jealousy and envy. So I think we got off on that tangent, but I think that was a great question. So looking at our dream mirrors, what is it that you're seeking? Right? And also this, it totally makes sense. Yeah. Thank you. Of course. So when we're looking at mirrors and we start to think about dream mirrors, right? So one of the things that I am working on right now, I've got 2 production companies. One I run with my husband, one I run independently that's all focused on conscious entertainment and media, right? We're opening up a comedy club and production company, or production space in Atlanta here this year, maybe top of next year. Who knows how long lumber will take to come in. But point being that a lot of what I'm wanting to build is I want to build essentially a media empire, right? I want to be able to endow other people to create the things that they want to create, so on and so forth. So a lot of the mirrors that I like, the things that I'm looking at, I like Lena Waithe, I like Issa Rae, I'm looking at all of these people, women and specifically, who are doing that work because that lights me up. That's going, oh, if they can do it, I can do it. Right? Where there's a will, there's a way. So when we're looking at these dream mirrors for something that you want, especially the bigger things that you want, it's go and follow those people. Steal their knowledge. Use what they do. Steal and make it your own, right? There's a great book. It's called Steal Like an Artist. Steal Like an Artist. Write it down. I highly recommend it. It's great, right? And so that's exactly right. That what are you seeking? And who are the people that are walking that walk? Who are the people that are doing that, right? Maybe you're struggling in your faith, and however you define that. Who are the people that are in your community, in your space, or online, on your online community, that you feel are steadfast in that? What are they doing? How are they showing up in their life? Go steal and make it your own, right? So this is the way that everybody, everywhere, are mirrors. That's why we talk about collective consciousness. That's why we talk about the collective. Because even though it's not always mirrored back to us, most everyone is always seeking community, creativity, connection, and love. Period. And so when we can tap into those things, that's what we begin to magnify. And so when we talk about these things, when people talk about, oh, God gave me this test, or oh, the universe is testing me. No, you are just now at a new place of consciousness, of self-awareness, that you're now noticing, oh, when this thing came up, I used to make this choice. And now I'm ready to make this one. So I always say when we're in these healing journeys, or however you define it, it's never that things get easier. It's that you can't juggle chainsaws until you can juggle 3 balls, right? So it's the same thing of once you get in that rhythm and you trust yourself and your nervous system is in alignment, and again, we've set that foundation for yourself, you can begin to do that more and more and more. And so it's the same thing with these mirrors, that the more you're making those adjustments and you're creating a world that supports your highest expression, that's when you can begin to really do the real work. I mean, and there's so much work in between that. I don't want to make it sound like your work is not important. As soon as we jump off today, that work begins. But how can you become aware? Because then once you're in that really sacred space where you've created that foundation and you're in that space and you've got those dream mirrors set up. And friends, sometimes mirrors aren't even people that are physically with you. There's a friend here, Ani Moosh, go follow her, shout out Ani. And we were talking about, we're teaming up to do some stuff together this summer. And all of a sudden we were like, oh, and we've never even met in real life. We've been talking and working together for almost 2.5 years and we haven't even met in real life. But Ani is such a mirror to me, right? And I've got some other group friends that I'm in a mindset group with, a millionaire's mindset group. And it's all about the big things that we're wanting to pull in and do, right, Ani? And I realized on that call, every single person I'm on that call with, they know me so intimately and I'm sharing things and we're pulling on each other. We're doing all this work. I've never even met them in real life. And that is the power of energy. And that is the power of connection. And that is the power of community. Yes, absolutely. Love you so much, Ani, right? So again, if you're feeling, if maybe you're going to leave this and you don't feel amped up, you feel more of oh my God, I have so much work to do, LaForce. This was not fun, right? Wherever you are, it's there are ways to create that community, right? There are ways to create that. If you're listen, girl, I decided to leave an abusive relationship and I've got a 2-year-old and I'm working 2 jobs. And it's I understand, maybe not that situation specifically, but it's I've been absolutely broke, got sober, looked around and was oh my God, I have absolutely no money. I'm, 32 years old and what am I doing? And I'm so far away from my dreams. And how am I going to make this happen? And making those choices towards those mirrors and making those choices towards my highest every single day. So it's doable. It just takes time. And the more that you do it, the more that, that Holy Spirit, as I define it, begins to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And it leads. So all of that negativity, all of those old mirrors, all of that old conditioning begins to, it falls off. And your highest, your intuition, the part of you that wants to lead, the part of you that knows, can then take over. And then be at the helm of the ship. And then you're in a whole new situation, right? So that's what I wanted to leave you with today. That is that. I think it's a great thing. Again, I know that all of us have different ways that we access the Holy Spirit, the way that we access the divine. I really encourage you over the next couple of days to sit with that, and however you access it, and really sit and ask to be guided. That's the other beautiful thing about the divine is it's co-creation. You're always at any time welcome to go, okay, this feels like a really big hurdle. And I'm going to need some help and I'm going to need a little bit of guidance of finding my way to this foundational place so that I can begin to live in my highest. And when you do that, when you ask, also gentle warning, be careful, because when you ask, that stuff is going to show up real quick. Okay. So again, you cannot juggle chainsaws until you can juggle 3 balls, right? So knowing that to be true, and how can you set yourself up for that success? But even moving in this energy of what are the mirrors I want? What is my highest expression? How do I want to live? What do I want to do? Simplest things you can do today. Clean out your social media. Go through your phone. Who are the people that you're like, they always make me feel really good. I want to reconnect with them. That doesn't have to be, it's this big, huge thing as simply as a text of like, hey, what's up? Hope you're feeling good, right? There are ways that we can access this. Music. Music is another simple and for the most part free way to access that energy because it's all energy and it's all available to us all of the time. So mirrors show up in so many ways. What are we eating, right? That's a way that it can support us and what it is that we want in our highest. So again, I've left you all of this journal space in your workbook. This is something I think that you can go back to. That's another reason why I want it to be something that's available to you digitally so that you can always go back to it because this is a process that is ongoing. We're not going to get off in the next 2 minutes and you're going to go, I'm healed. Although if that happens, let me know because I'd like that testimony. But this is going to be something that we're going to continue to move through. Myself, I'm still moving through it. And there's always going to be edits along the way of things that we've outgrown and what are we ready to access. Our embodiment has changed. Our nervous system has changed. Our community, our foundation, right? Maybe our financial situation. So there's always going to be things that we're going to be releasing and reclaiming, right? So that is what I have for you this week. Again, my name is Rachel LaForce. I am a comedian. I'm an intuitive. I'm a creative producer. And so these are all of my, as I say, my spiritual lessons learned and spiritual sacred wisdom that I want to endow you with in as many ways as I can for free. So that way you can continue on in your journey. Because if you, like me, when I first started, I didn't have money to pay to go to somebody. And it was the folks with books and free resources and things like this that were able to give me that foundation so that I could build and build and build. And then I got to a place where maybe I had a little bit more money and then I could distribute that wealth and invest in myself and continue that growth, right? So this is a free resource for you, not only just this time that we spend together in the mornings. I also have a YouTube page. There's much more long form videos there, oracle readings, monthly energy readings, different downloads and things that I have. So there's lots of ways to go there and please use that as a resource. I spend a lot of time, y'all, making this content. If it is something of interest, please, it's free. Go and utilize it. Okay. If you are seeking something else, I also have paid investments. Okay. I do what's called the MISFIT Light. This is an energy reading. So a lot of what we do here, you can come to me and for 90 minutes, let me know what are those goals? What are you working through? And we're going to help you uncover what it is that is your MISFIT Light. So we're going to identify what are the blocks, what are the things that we want to release, and what are the steps that we can do to reclaim and embody what is your highest expression and get you moving. Okay. So again, that's a 90-minute session. You can book those. Those are available. You can go to rachelforce.com or my link in bio and you can claim that for yourself. You're absolutely so good to see you. Yes. And then I also do creative consults. So if you're in content or creativity, you're ready to start a podcast, you've got this idea, I do audits. So if you have something that exists, I can go and audit that business, book, or thing and give you some feedback of how to bring in more eyes, to refine it, whatever it is that your goals, we can get you closer to that thing. And then the other aspect of that is maybe you're like, you've got ideas rolling around and you're really needing a brainstorm session. So you're going to bring me clay, and in that session, we're going to pass it back and forth. So by the time you leave, you have action steps, goals, ideas, and you have things that then you can go and implement and put in and create something. Okay. Testimonials and all the things of everybody have helped and what we're doing. All of that's on my website. So you can see if maybe you think that that is right for you. All right. Another free resource that I have is my newsletter that goes out twice a month. That's a video newsletter. I'll give you the update. Okay. Another free resource that I have, my podcast. What? She's got a podcast? Yes, she does. Season 4 comes out next week. Almost all of the episodes are evergreen. Okay. This will be season 4, unless it is an astrological episode. They're all evergreen. So you can go back. The descriptions are pretty good. So if you're looking for nervous system help, if you're looking for boundary help, if you're looking for, any of these things, informed trauma situation, like everything is there. So please, again, hi LaToya. Also LaToya does readings, another fabulous newsletter. So go and check her out. Follow her. She has a lot of free resources as well as paid investments, which I myself have taken advantage of and I highly recommend. So again, there are so many free resources around you. So if you're in that place where that's what you're seeking, don't get discouraged. There are so many healers, practitioners, creators, and people doing that work. So please go and check that out, okay? Be well, stay in it, get sleep, drink water, take deep breaths. You got it. I love you. New workbook comes out next Sunday, so you can go and get that. I hope you'll be getting these workbooks and doing this work, because guess who else is doing the work? She is. So let's do it together, and let's walk in our misfit light, and let's light some stuff up. You know what I mean? Because I don't know if you've taken a look around, but we need it. Okay. So let's keep doing it. All right. I love you so much. All of the blessings to you. Thank you so much for being here and doing the work alongside me. This full video, well, as I was going to say, you will watch the replay. That'll be up here and also over on my YouTube page as well. So much love to everybody. Be well. See you next Monday. Bye.